Seth Rollins recently made some interesting comments about joining the WrestleMania main event, so we'll take a look at that. We'll also check out Bianca Belair's collaboration with Rihanna and the tag team partner for Ronda Rousey. Let's start things off with Seth Rollins' comments. Seth recently had a Radio Row interview with Claibs Online, and he made his case for joining Roman Reigns vs. Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins had this to say, quote, "I made my presence known in a Brock-Roman match once before at WrestleMania, so who's to say I couldn't do it again? Who knows? We are roughly 7-8 weeks out from WrestleMania at this point, so anything can happen between now and then." End quote. So Seth Rollins brings up a great point here. Seth is of course talking about the WrestleMania 31 main event, which was a triple threat between Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, and Seth Rollins. So 7 entire years later, we will have the same main event of Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Only question left to ask is if Seth Rollins would be added to the match again or not. And it's funny that Seth Rollins threw this idea out there because it's a popular theory amongst the fans right now. Fans feel like some big twist is coming to the Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match. One of those highly discussed ideas is the theory of a third man being added to Brock and Roman's match, therefore making it a triple threat. There's also some new rumors and reports out there that claim Vince McMahon is allegedly considering the title versus title match as well. So if you have this massive winner-takes-all triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania, that third person has to be someone huge. Some of the names being discussed by the fans for that third spot in the main event include Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Bobby Lashley. Add any of those three superstars to the main event of WrestleMania and it fits perfectly because all three of them have some sort of history with Roman or Brock. Seth Rollins, like he said in that interview, interrupted a match between Roman and Brock 7 years ago and individually faced the both of them several times over the years. So the history is there with Seth. Drew McIntyre has rich history with both Roman and Brock, so he's another great fit. Bobby Lashley also just faced Brock Lesnar and won his WWE title, mostly due to the assistance from Roman Reigns, so he's connected here as well. So the fans and Seth Rollins have a good point. Throw in one of those big names to the WrestleMania main event and things could get very intriguing. Bianca Belair was recently a part of a massive collaboration with Rihanna's Fenty brand. Rihanna has a highly successful beauty line named Fenty, and it's just a massive juggernaut of a brand in the entire makeup scene. Fenty has over 11 million followers on Instagram and constantly has all these collaborations and crossovers with big celebrities. Well, wrestling fans were pleasantly surprised to see their own Bianca Belair front and center of the official Fenty page. Fenty posted Bianca Belair trying out some of their products, and the fans loved every minute of it. Fans online were discussing how this big collaboration here is a good sign that Bianca Belair could be headed for that mainstream level of superstardom. She first debuted on the main roster in 2020, and now she's already being featured by Rihanna and Fenty. So the future is very bright for Bianca Belair. As far as a WWE-related update for the former Smackdown Women's Champion, Bianca is currently climbing her way back into the title scene. When a champion loses their title, you go down one of two paths. You either stay looking like a strong, credible threat to the title, or you get lost in the shuffle. Luckily for Bianca Belair, she exited the title scene but never lost momentum. She's still a big threat to the title, with a lot of momentum on her side. So Bianca still has that going for her. Some fans think that Bianca would even be a perfect WrestleMania opponent for Becky Lynch as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that all unfolds. Now, next up is a conversation about how Ronda Rousey could revive the women's tag team division with one of her longtime friends, Shayna Baszler. The conversation still hasn't changed for when it comes to the women's tag team division. Ever since the titles were first introduced, there's been a lack of depth in the tag team divisions and the lack of care for the division. There was actually a point in mid-2021 where the women's tag team division was quietly heating up. But fast forward a few days later and the WWE releases that happened around that time absolutely demolished the women's tag team division. And ever since then, the women's tag team champions never really defended their titles or have good feuds because there's literally no one else in the division. That's unfortunately become the case for Carmella and Zelina Vega. They won the title a few months ago, but ask yourself, who have they really feuded with and defended against? Your mind is probably drawing a blank because they haven't faced anyone besides the former champions of Rhea Ripley and Nikki. Now, this issue isn't just in the women's tag team division. The issue also exists for the Intercontinental title. The Intercontinental title is teetering on basically being non-existent. A lot of fans forget that Nakamura is currently the Intercontinental champion, but nowadays that title feels more like a prop than an actual championship. It's been months since it's been defended, and it's the same thing like the women's tag team titles. Try to think of one memorable feud that Nakamura has had during the reign. And it's obviously not Nakamura's fault, it's just that that title is an afterthought. But one of the ideas that fans have come up with is to breathe some life into the empty women's tag team division was for Ronda and Shayna to form a tag team. Ronda and Shayna have been close friends for such a long time, but never really crossed paths in WWE. Shayna was still in NXT during Ronda's first run in WWE, so it was a bit of a challenge for them to cross paths back then. But with both superstars now being on the main roster at the same time, everyone is talking about how impactful and dominant a tag team with Ronda and Shayna would look like. They would easily dominate the women's tag team division, and they would be a solid team to build an actual tag team division around. Because yes, WWE has tag team titles for the women, but they do not actually have a tag team division for the women. Anytime the current champions need a matchup, WWE just throws two random superstars together out of nowhere and calls them a team. So that's definitely not a good way to try and get fans to buy into the women's tag team division. But if you get a solid centerpiece for the division, like a team of Ronda and Shayna, maybe that's a good start. Shayna even responded to the fan who suggested the idea of the tag team with Ronda Rousey by posting a thinking face emoji. Shayna hasn't really dominated that division during her time with Nia Jax, but the storyline with that team was that they were never really on the same page, and were always a dysfunctional team. So the story would be much different this time around because Shayna and Ronda would have more chemistry as a team than Shayna and Nia. But this would all have to wait because Ronda Rousey is obviously going to be very busy getting ready for the WrestleMania main event over the next few months. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.